paints found inside the amazing Gamemaster role-playing starter paint set are back and better than ever because they've been completely reformulated using the new high coverage, high performance, and easy to use Fanatic formulation. On top of that, these paints have gone from their smaller 12ml bottles to our larger 18ml bottles. With more paint, better coverage, and 5 free models inside, you won't find a better value in the hobby industry. In this series, we're going to show you how to paint up the characters found inside this set. Today, let's paint Freya, the human fighter. The newest addition to our studio, Stefan, is here to show you how it's done, and we'll begin with a base coat of brush-on primer found inside this set. You'll want to apply this in one light coat, making sure you cover the entire miniature, as the primer is what will allow your paints to adhere to it. A really neat thing about these Gamemaster paints is that the colors inside have a color match from the broader Warpaints Fanatic range. So when you do inevitably run out, just check the label to find the corresponding color and head to your local game store to find the matching replacement on the shelf. In the case of this paint, Soft Leather is a color match to Leather Brown from the Fanatic range, and we'll use this to base coat the pants, belt, and other details on this miniature. We'll use Neutral Red to paint in some of our fighters' clothing and robes. You can see how smooth and easy these Gamemaster paints cover in just one go, even with a traditionally difficult color like red. They just go on so nice and easy, and in many cases with just one coat. We'll use Rosy Skin for any of the flesh that's showing on the miniature, like her hands and face. And our human fighter has strong blonde hair, so grab some angelic yellow and apply a careful base coat. For an even stronger finish, once the first coat has dried, you can go ahead and apply a second smooth coat. We'll move on to Dwarf Gold from the set, and we'll just use this to paint in the golden details like the hilt of the sword, the body armor, the gauntlets, and her crown. Here's a beginner's tip if you're new to painting. Be sure to refill your rinsing cup with clean water, or just to use a separate cup for metallics altogether when you're painting with metallics so you don't contaminate any of your future acrylic colors. Take your time here with this golden paint on the smaller details and be as neat as you can. If you do happen to paint outside of the lines at this stage, you can always go back and tidy it up with a simple coat of your previous color. We'll use plate mail metal for some of the remaining metallic details and the blade of the sword. Go ahead and grab some Kraken Blue and use this to paint in some of the gems on our fighter. You can really use any color you'd like, but this is a nice poppy contrast with her hair and the cloak on the miniature. Then we'll apply a wash. We're using Strong Tone here, and we'll apply this liberally all over the model. The wash is designed to add depth and shading by reinforcing the details on the miniature. This paint is designed to add deep pigments into the shadowed areas, and it has a longer drying time, so you have the time to work the pigments around and make sure that the wash is pooling where you want it to. You want to make sure this is absolutely dry before moving on to the next stages. And in these stages, we will apply a base coat highlight. This is totally optional. Your miniature is tabletop ready as it is, but a base coat highlight allows you to redefine the raised details, and it'll help to clean up and brighten the model a bit. Like you see Stefan doing here with Neutral Red on the cape. He's just applying this to the raised edges and leaving the darker shaded areas untouched. And you can see how this really adds contrast to the miniature as we apply this highlight. We'll highlight all of the brown bits with our soft leather. We'll do the same for the golden armor. And the sheen of this metallic paint becomes even more pronounced at this stage. Just take your time and be as neat as you can. We'll move on to highlighting with Rosy Skin, focusing on the brow, on our fighter's cheeks, the tip of her nose, and fingers. We'll do the same with a base tone highlight of angelic yellow all over the striations of the hair. We'll repeat this process with plate mail metal on the blade of this sword. You can really see it start to shimmer when you apply this second coat. And after that's done, all you have to do is paint the rim of your base in the color of your choice. We're choosing Chaotic Black here. Then if you want to, you can highlight the cobblestones on your base, and you're done. Finish off your mini with some tufts from our Battlefields range, and your human fighter is ready to fend off the fiends and monsters who threaten your next dungeon adventure. The Gamemaster role-playing starter paint set is a great beginner set for anyone interested in tabletop RPGs, or a fun way to gather a party of friends for some tabletop adventure. Paints inside are perfect for beginners and advanced painters who are leveling up their hobby dexterity. Be sure to stay tuned so you can see how the whole party of 5 gets painted when you subscribe to the Army Painters channel here on YouTube. Be sure to look for these products and many more at your friendly local game store, preferred online retailer, or at www.thearmypainter.com.